There's something particularly disturbing about this figure caught on camera. Submitted to the Chill Narrator subreddit by user CJ0smagic, this unusual goat-legged figure was captured on CCTV at around 3:30 in the morning. There is a very clear figure walking along the sidewalk in the video. In the clip, a dog can see her, so you might think this is nothing more than a woman walking at night. However, if you look more closely, you will see her legs look as though they end in hooves. Her behavior is alarming as well. As the footage from different cameras shows, she leaves the signal of this camera, and is then seen in the next one standing for a moment by a car. Then, she turns back toward where she was first seen, only to remain motionless in the shadows. Who is this goat-legged individual waiting for? Maybe she's waiting for you. While visiting a friend at a high school, these girls spotted strange flickering light inside, writing that it was a flickering in a pattern. Posted by user Babatesmandar to the Ghosts subreddit, the redditor notes that this is the boys' and the girls' locker rooms. Only the boys were acting up earlier, and now both of them are flickering. Some claim it's a rave, others say it's just faulty wiring or the fire alarm being tested. But MENJU891 finds something else particularly disturbing. He writes, "Why do locker rooms have such large and close to the ground windows? I find that creepy." That's a good point. The story they tell might not be what's going on here. However, either this had to be a major electrical malfunction or something paranormal. I wish there was more video evidence to let us determine for sure. CCTV cameras sometimes capture the unexplainable. In a video posted by UFOmania in May of 2018, a Ring security camera caught a strange flying entity on camera. The entity shoots onto the screen, sparking in the air, before it settles at the bottom of the image. It hovers there, floating, before shooting upwards and disappearing from sight. YouTube user Trish Robinson says, "Many creations exist in our world. We simply cannot understand them. Most will never be known by the masses. Is this just one of those many creations we do not fully understand?" Nevertheless, this footage raises multiple questions I wish we had additional evidence to answer. This one looks straight out of a horror movie. Posted by user WetTentYT to the Chill Narrator subreddit, and originally published to YouTube in September of 2020, this is urban exploring adventure turned into a nightmare. The uploader explains that this is a follow-up to a video he uploaded recently. After leaving an abandoned garage, he came across several tunnels, which led to a figure he'd seen earlier. These videos were filmed within an hour of one another, and showcase a strange person figure who followed me while exploring. If you looked closely, you could see an axe in its hand, and its eyes appeared to be sort of glowing. In the video, the uploader is wandering through a tunnel when he hears something. He sets the camera down on the ground in the tunnel, facing the exit. When the aforementioned figure pounding on the tunnel's roof with what appears to be an axe is captured. Meanwhile, the uploader races down the adjacent tunnel, and when the Axeman leaves, retrieves his camera from the ground, and races back toward where the Axeman exited shouting, "Who are you?" No response. He should probably be thankful for that. The setting is ideal for terror. Pouring rain, abandoned railway house in the middle of nowhere. In August 2020, Exploring with Danny will be published to YouTube. In this episode, Danny and Luke wander through the forest in the stormy darkness. Finally, they arrive at the abandoned railway station, as the lighting flashes ominously overhead. Once inside, the group begins exploring. Everything is smashed to pieces, windows boarded over, graffiti on the walls. Danny said there were more than 30 railroad deaths on the track outside the house in the 1800s. There are abandoned shoes on the stairs. They proceed to the second floor. The bedrooms upstairs still have clothes hanging on the wardrobes. Danny asks any spirits to make themselves known by giving a bang or closing a door. He might later regret asking. They head down the hallway and find a strong lock on the door. One of the pieces of the door has been broken off. They enter the room to discover a wardrobe in the corner. It looks like someone has lived there. As they look around the room, suddenly, the wardrobe is pushed open, revealing a woman dressed in white, her face pale, and her hair dark. Hidden in the corner, she slowly approaches them. Needless to say, the explorers freak out and flee, as though their lives depended on it. Because they do. Posted by user Tay Harlequin to the Chill Narrator subreddit, the Redditor's Ring camera caught something that made her look twice. A car is clearly seen traveling past in the video. Behind it, a transparent figure can be seen ghosting along behind it. One Redditor explained why the running person appears transparent. Maybe the camera glitch caused the running person to appear transparent, he writes. He's fast, so I don't think that's a person at all. The Redditor responds that her camera is usually very clear, and she's never had a problem with it. Another commenter, Snorlaxlin, tags onto the thread saying that the truck would have had a glitchy effect too, had it been a camera quality issue. Some suggest it's a spirit on a bike, others think it's the compression of footage quality, which tends to make images look somewhat transparent if they are small and far away. What do you think is going on here? It's time to investigate. The video shows the exploration of an abandoned hospital by a solo Filipino ghost hunter. Around 4 minutes into the film, he hears shouting as he climbs the stairs. The Redditor who submitted this suggests the scream belongs to a child or a woman. The ghost hunter continues to explore the entire floor. All the while the screeching can be heard in the background. As he approaches the end of the floor, traffic can be heard roaring through the window. At 7:15, when the screaming appears again, it can be heard only distantly, and then very clearly and closer. The sound is terrifying, but the source is never found. What do you think it could be? I think it's paranormal. A homeowner turned this into a payback when he startled intruders from miles away inside his house. Published to YouTube by 11 Alive in May of 2019. This video shows the bedroom door opening as the would-be intruder calmly searches for and gathers valuables around the room. A moment later, another man enters with a bag, and they proceed to ransack the place together. They rummage through drawers, the closet, the chest, everything, seemingly unaware that there is a camera, and they are being watched. They leave the bedroom, presumably to look around the rest of the house, but then return to cover every inch with a fine-toothed comb. They are taking it slow, that is, until a high-pitched beeping, and then the homeowner clearly warns the intruders off. The sound isn't working, but hopefully he's informing them that he's notified the authorities, and they won't get away with this. I guess you never know where a security camera may be these days. The investigation conducted by Detroit Paranormal Expeditions in what was once a church turned up ghostly sightings. Local 4 cameraman Alex Atwell captured this figure flying through the air at the brewery, where many employees believe ghosts haunt the place. The unexplained object flies into frame, and then vanishes into thin air above the paranormal crew standing with their backs towards the object. Is this an image of a party ghost, or an angel, as some have suggested? Or do you think it's a bird or another flying creature? In that case, how did it vanish so completely? This one seems to be paranormal to me, especially since a news cameraman caught it on tape. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to notify our next video. When UPS shows up at your door, but you have not ordered anything, be careful. Published on YouTube by Neosum in May of 2020, this doorbell footage from London shows a man, dressed in a UPS coat, and holding a package, ring the homeowner's doorbell. As he waits, he seems preoccupied on the phone. The homeowner answers, and then things go off the rails. A moment later, the man enters, followed by 3 others. According to May 2020 news reports, the suspects barged in, demanding the father hand over the security box. 2 men were charged in the matter, so one should avoid opening the door to anyone.